Attention everybody, the views expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. We're with our new internet today. Here we go. Good morning. Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the morning drive with Matt and Jay with your host, Matt and Jay. Got our Germex over here.
And the valley is too wide.
I would love to learn how to play the drums to this. Barney makes it sound so easy. Yeah. Listen to the words of this song, folks.
I thought this is how it would always be. 2, 3, but that's all changed. That's all changed.
I sang this at church yesterday.
And you set this captive free.
By church, I mean church at Crosswalk of Hope. You guys may have been able to hear me playing it while you were standing outside because the windows were open. Beautiful day yesterday. We're going to be talking about food and other stuff today. Sorry, I'm listening to the song because it's fun.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Thou art with me.
So, I guess I can turn that off. So far, everything's going pretty good. I'm excited.
2, 3, you got this.
It's actually part of your sermon yesterday was about you've got this, Lord, right?
Yeah. I want to live for you, my Lord. I want to worship you. One more time. I want.
Has this posted on Acts or I
Yeah.
got it off of Acts?
Yeah.
It only shows just me watching.
And me. I'm going to share it. Yeah, it is showing just you watching. Weird. All right, so good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
We're glad to have everybody on board with us today. Now, Friday, we had some issues with Facebook. So if you were watching Friday and then you couldn't find us, I do apologize for that, man. Let's turn that out there. It was just one of those days.
That's going to be an ongoing problem, right?
No, as of right now, it's not. I don't know. We'll see. I hope it's okay. So here we are. Atri. That's what I put. Here we atri. I don't think that's a word, Jay. Is that a word?
I don't think it is.
No, it's not. Now, you were probably watching this morning. We had Here We Are. That's what I posted. Done that to post it. Anyways.
Hey, it works.
Scott Holland, welcome to the party.
Good morning.
I hope everybody's able to... let me make sure I got the privacy settings on this where they need to be. It looks like it's public. Watching on YouTube, Acts Media Group is. That's probably Jim or Dennis. Sorry about that.
Dennis Everson.
Dennis Everson. And sometimes his dog watches, Baxter Everson.
Mm-hmm.
So we had church yesterday at Crosswalk of Hope. That was fun. Susan Burrows, welcome to the party. Glad to see you. Today we're going to talk about food and stuff. We're going to be recording, hopefully, this is a plan.
We had chocolate cake yesterday.
That chocolate cake was more like chocolate pudding.
It was good, huh?
It was amazing. I had a really...
I mean, it was cooked.
It was cooked, but it was so moist it fell apart real easy and mixed in. You had so much icing on it. I had it all mixed together, and it just made like cake pudding.
It was tasty.
It was so good. It took me a long time. I cut a piece, tried to cut it even, and then I couldn't get it all on one spatula.
Yeah.
And the guy Justin was like, "Hey, you doing all right there, man?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing fine."
Yep.
I'd take it, and I'd have to turn the spatula upside down and smear it to get all the icing off of it.
Yeah.
It was good. And then Jay comes along, and he's got this perfectly square piece just sitting on his plate. I don't know how you did it.
Yeah.
I got it ready for you. That's what it is.
That's what it is. You guys did all the hard work.
Yep. So we got.
I had easy access to one of the pieces. Is what happened.
Yeah. I cleaned it up for you. Cleaned up the edges.
It was beautiful. It was good. Still got a couple pieces left.
All right. So I am going to share on my time.
I enjoyed doing that. I mean, I did enjoy it. And then afterwards, I think it did hit home for. I know it hit home for one of the people that were there, and I appreciate her saying so.
Yeah, because you were worried that it was going to upset people.
Yeah, because I see it all the time, and I think it's a bad witness when we stand on promises that God didn't actually make to us.
Right.
And God didn't promise us we wouldn't die, except that we will live forever with Him. You know what I mean? Our bodies,
Steve-O, Mickey Mac.
Our bodies will pass away, and we shouldn't stand on a promise that God won't allow that to happen.
Right.
It's just not true. You know, we could get sick and die. That
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, and you know what really sucks is, and you know, I told you I'm fighting anxiety attacks now,
Yeah.
and that can cause like a tightness in the chest and stuff, and then also when I was smoking I've officially quit smoking.
Good.
100%. Like no, you know.
I've got to do that.
Done. And then it kind of sucks because, you know, the more you have anxiety, the tighter your chest feels, and then the tighter your chest feels, the more you think, oh, COVID-19, you know. And then the problem is COVID-19 is out now, where usually we're getting sinus issues, congestion. People's chests do get tight because of the pollen and stuff that they're breathing in. So there is going to be an influx, I'm sure, of people going to the hospital just to make sure they don't have it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty scary. We're in pretty scary times right now, where every little.
I say don't be afraid.
Yeah. And you know, and I have to ask forgiveness for my anxiety. Now, the anxiety in my body is.
It depends.
Really not God. I can't control the anxiety that comes out. You know.
There is a certain amount of anxiety. Anxiety should motivate us to action. Right? I mean, there's inappropriate anxiety, and then there's appropriate anxiety. Now, inappropriate anxiety is when you fear something more than God and you are irrational about it.
Right.
But
Good morning, Larry
appropriate
Melton.
anxiety is understanding something is dangerous and then taking the proper precautions to minimize the risk. That's a good type of anxiety. Understanding and obeying the rules about how to conduct yourself in the presence of these risks are also important because, look, in the Bible, they quarantined people when they were contagious. They put them out of the city.
And the person had no choice.
No, and they couldn't come back into the city until the priest had inspected and approved them as not contagious. So here's something the government issued to us, and they sent us this in the mail. And it says it is the President Trump's coronavirus guidelines for America.
The 15 days to slow the spread.
15 days to slow the spread. Listen and follow the directions of your state and local authorities. So look that up because they may be a little bit different than this. Now I heard, and it was announced, I believe yesterday, that now Missouri is one of the hot spots. I spoke to one of our nurses who's a customer at my work. I'm a cashier, and one of the nurses, I asked her, I said, are you seeing this? Because I was curious. Are we really seeing this illness here? And her response was like this, oh yeah. So it is in our hospitals here locally.
Yeah.
And not just in our hospitals here locally, but so much so or at least with such severe symptoms that a nurse would say, "Oh yeah."
So I'm going to look up cdc.gov. And, by the way, Jim, the internet's working great so far. It seems faster. The login time, for the stream to start, faster than what we had before.
So I should say this now. These rules are given to us by professionals in the field who have been through contagious viruses all the way from the emergence of AIDS and not understanding it to begin with, how it was deadly. People's organs were shutting down and they were dying from it. They didn't know what it was, how it was spread, how contagious it was. They didn't know any of those things, much like today, though it didn't spread as quickly as it does today. And they had to make the connections to find out it was sexually transmitted, and usually it was transmitted through blood. Anyway, so
yeah, people were afraid for a long time that if you even hugged a person with AIDS or with HIV, that you would
you
get
it. Yeah, and I remember that.
I remember the school telling us that is not true. If somebody has HIV or AIDS, you can only get it through the transmission of body fluids,
Right.
through a cut.
You can get it through a cut or a sore.
Yep. And our mouths are all full of microscopic cuts. Anyways, sorry, continue.
So if you feel sick, stay at home. Do not go to work. Okay? So if you can do that, and you should do that, and I should take that advice myself, but I'm a smoker. Anyway, we won't get into all that. If your children are sick, keep them at home. Contact your medical provider. Okay? That would also be a very unusual circumstance because the children who get it do not show any severe symptoms. So if your child shows severe symptoms, you contact a medical provider. And I should say, contacting a medical provider, go online to your healthcare professional's website and find out about remote access to a doctor. You don't even have to go in, possibly.
Right.
Now, if you have severe symptoms, you may need to go in for severe symptom treatment, but if your symptoms don't develop into severe symptoms, you may be able to quarantine and be treated at home.
Right.
Safely. If you are an older person or have a serious underlying health condition, which they've said is that this affects most severely.
Like heart, lung disease, or diabetes.
Yes, any kind of respiratory underlying complication, like even what's that one, COPD. There's asthma, other ones like that. So be careful about that. Diabetes, that's one of them, because one of the symptoms that is inflammation, and for people with diabetes, inflammation can rage throughout the entire body. So people with,
anything that has to do with your immune system.
Yes. Yep. So if you're being treated for a disease, or if you've been seriously ill with another disease, your immune system is compromised. Now, if someone in your home has tested positive, keep the entire household at home.
Which is really difficult to do.
Now, I won't get it. I'm tempted to do the same. Let's not go through all the reasons why we can't obey these rules.
Right.
Not now, anyway.
Right.
We'll follow through it. And this is what they're saying, is if someone in your household has tested positive, keep the entire household at home.
Larry Melton says, put skunk pee on your hands, and I bet you won't touch your face.
Yeah. Yeah, my dog got into a skunk, got sprayed right in the face yesterday.
Says that people that wear glasses are most likely to get the virus. I'm just kidding. That's true, because we always touch our faces, like even right then and there.
Work or study from home whenever possible. Now, that has nothing to do with symptoms or illness or anything. If you're perfectly healthy and it's possible for you to work or study from home, do so. Set it up. Get it done. Do it. Same with seeing your doctor.
Yeah.
If it's possible at all, for any reason that you need to see a doctor, go to the website, find about a remote access. You can visit with your doctor online.
Almost
through
all,
video.
almost all hospitals have that option now.
Yes.
I know the one that I go to. It begins with a C. I'm not going to say the name because we're not allowed to, but they've got a patient's portal where you can email your doctor, you can video chat your doctor, chat with the nurse. So
look into that.
yeah,
It all is, and our government is pouring resources, not just our government, but all kinds of industries and tech companies are pouring investment into making it easy to access remote consultations.
not just that.
Also easy to perform your tasks and duties for work remotely.
Yeah, that and I mean, whenever I was on the phone with our internet service provider, there was twice last week I had to be on the phone for quite a while. The first person I talked to was always from home. The guy was like, "I'm at home right now. I don't have the clearance from my computer to be able to access certain things on your account." So they had to transfer me to somebody who was at a. He just about coughed. Didn't
At
he?
a terminal. No, I was yawning.
But yeah, so that was, and it's going on. It's like that for. It's going to be like that for a while.
Now here's one. Avoid eating or drinking at bars and restaurants. Use pickup or delivery options. Don't stop eating out.
Right.
Use the pickup or delivery options. These businesses depend on you as a patron to stay in business. They have employees who might be at home whether or not they're sick
Right.
without being paid because they're not sick. They haven't
Right.
tested positive. Their company they work for has gone out of business. Now the government is setting up things where small businesses can get grants that don't have to be paid back as long as they keep all of their people on the payroll. Now, I don't know if that's to prevent them from applying for unemployment so that those statistics don't rise, or if keeping them on the payroll means paying them their full wage, which I believe it does say their full wage.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a business owner, those grants are not, you don't have to pay them back. So if your business is affected by this, but remember, if you eat out, continue to eat out.
Yeah.
Use the takeout or delivery, the pickup or delivery options. They're good options. Plus, that could boost an industry that has not been as popular or as busy. It can open up job opportunities for people who have lost their job
You know what they
and
used
need one.
You know what they used to call the laborers that are currently working. They called that skillless labor.
Yes.
And now it's in the forefront, like the most important jobs
Yeah.
that there are. Mm-hmm. Because these people are still going to work every day and
And
putting
there are
themselves at
places
risk.
closing down. There are people who are not positive for COVID-19 who are concerned about how they're going to get income because they haven't had a positive test. They're unsure. There's too much gray in all of the stimulus stuff. They don't know what they're going to do about their families, about even themselves, paying rent, paying their bills, buying groceries, which is already difficult, which has been better, I must say.
Yeah. There are, let's say, most, if not all, like credit card companies and phone companies and things like that have programs in place now where you call them and you tell them I can't make the payment right this week or whatever, and they won't charge you a late fee and they'll let you, they'll waive the late fees. And I know my cell phone provider has, for the next 60 days, is not charging any late fees. Because
Make sure you get clarity on the situation with that, though, because if after the 2 months, if you're not caught up on those payments, then will you get late fees, or will will those bills, as far as you're behind after the 2 months, will that remain exempt until you're caught up?
That's if we can even open the country back up by then.
Right. So find those things out. They are important to know.
As of right now, we don't know enough.
Yes, and the contracts are hard to understand. There's a lot of reading to do, but there's also a professional on the phone, if you can get one, that can tell you, the truth of the matter,
Right.
whether or not you have to be caught up at the end of those 60 days. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's not really the issue. The issue is that they have done that, and plan well. I'm just saying, if you're going to hold off on paying those bills, or you have to, know the truth of the matter so that you can plan well and recover as quickly and easily as possible when this is over. So, avoid discretionary travel. So if you don't need to get out and travel, don't. Shopping, trips, social visits. So avoid those things. And when you do have to do those things, practice the social distancing. Do not visit nursing homes or retirement or long-term care facilities unless to provide critical assistance. So if you're not going to one of those places to provide critical assistance, avoid it. Do not go. Always practice good hygiene. Wash your hands, especially after touching any frequently used items or surfaces. Now, if you don't want to have a whole bunch of birthdays in one day, I recommend the ABC song. And that means now I know my ABCs at the end.
Yeah.
Do it properly. And do you do it twice?
No, but I think you could probably just do that one once.
And the proper way to wash your hands is an adequate amount of soap.
Sing it as slow as you can.
The soap bubbles. You want the bubbles.
A-B-C-D.
You want the bubbles so you can see them. You want to do between your fingers all the way up to the crook. You want to do around them. You want to make sure that you're getting your fingers like this, right? And then you also want to do the back of your hands. Make sure, and then go in between like that from the backs.
Okay.
Don't forget your thumbs. This crook here, make sure you get all of that. And you're doing this while you're singing the ABCs and your wrists.
Sometimes you have to re-soap.
And your wrists, right?
Right.
Then you rinse. Don't touch the device that turns it on and off. Wash, dry your hands. Wash your hands off. And then if there are paper towels, you would get the paper towels, dry your hands, and then turn off the sink if you have to touch the sink. Because touching something that's already been touched by a bunch of people is where those things can be transferred.
Right.
Now, and then there's avoid touching your face. Now,
I got it.
Teenagers touch their face as many as 2,000 times a day. They've done research studies on this. On average, a teenager will touch their face 2,000 times a day. That's the reason acne develops so easily in teenagers, along with their chemistry, and the changes that are happening in their body. Acne is prevalent. They're also open sores, so that's an easy way to spread it to someone else once you touch your face and then touch another surface if you have it. So teenagers, remember, 2,000 times a day you're touching your face. Now, coronavirus aside, if you're frustrated with your acne, never touch your face until you've
Wash your
just
hands.
finished washing your hands.
Yeah, that's actually a comment.
So don't wash your hands, touch a doorknob, then touch your face. Wash your hands, touch your face, then touch the doorknob. Don't touch your face. And I have instructed teenagers in this. Years I've been telling teenagers this. Don't touch your face unless you just wash your hands. All of that acne that you're having is because you touch your face so much with dirty hands. And it made a difference in their acne. A visible difference within a week.
We're getting ready here in about 3 minutes. We're going to be calling. Jennifer is going to do the whether or not segment for
I've only got 2
Kelly.
more of these instructions.
Go for it.
Sneeze or cough into tissue or the inside of your elbow. That means this. Right?
Right.
Do that. That's what you do.
Was
That's
that-
how you do it.
That was a good
'Cause
fake
now
sneeze.
look, I'm not touching anything with that.
Yeah.
And if I do, that's kind of weird.
And if you're the type that don't shower on a daily basis, make sure you start showering on a daily basis, and also changing, like if you wear like the same pants 2 days in a row. If you're in a job position like where I work, you're around truck drivers all the time that are coming in from all parts of the country. That stuff can get on your clothes and live on your clothes. They're saying they can live on surfaces for days.
Yeah. Soft surfaces, not as long as hard surfaces.
Right.
At least it's not as transferable.
Right.
Now, disinfect frequently using items and surfaces as much as possible. Oh, disinfect frequently used items and surfaces as much as possible. Now, ladies, I don't mean to be sexist, but you're amazing. You know, there's a difference between a single guy's house and a single lady's house. There's a difference between a single guy's house and a married man's house, and that is that ladies have a tendency to clean everything. So, like your items that are just sit for a long time in my house, they weigh more because they have dust,
Yeah.
right? They're not
Right.
clean surfaces.
Yeah.
Things that I touch often, they got fingerprints all over them. Whatever I had on my hands when I touched it is still there. Ladies, you're
I did,
amazing. Gentlemen, single guys, now listen. If you're doing this the easy way and you're spraying down everything with a disinfectant, make sure it's a viral disinfectant. That's very important because this is a virus.
Right.
So if you're using disinfectant and taking the lazy man's way out, I would never do that myself, but I actually do that. That is how I do it. Did you catch that, Matt?
Yes. Yes, I did.
So
Sorry,
make sure it's antiviral.
Make
And
sure it's
that's it.
antiviral. And you can read the can, like on, I don't want to name drop, but Lysol as kills viruses.
And I would add to that, those of you with faith in God, who have given yourselves to the Lord, who trust in the sacrifice he made with his son and his son made for you, Jesus Christ, if you have faith, do not be afraid. Listen, there are people all around us right now who are afraid. And your countenance, your stature, your attitude of peace and comfort through this can help people to calm down, but also provide your wisdom. Don't go around touching everything because you have faith that God will protect you and not washing your hands. Follow these rules. They did these things in the Bible, and we shouldn't feel ourselves exempt because of our faith. And though your faith may protect you, somebody who doesn't have faith may follow your example and be spreading this around. We need to be careful of that. Be a good example.
Reba Weaver. welcome.
Demonstrate your peace and calm, and be a good example.
You know, I was trying to think of how to word this. Yesterday, because I think, you know, and with the pollen and everything, you know, and with my smoking and all that stuff, and it was just, I was freaking out. I don't have a fever.
It was
I don't
stacking
have a
up
dry
on
cough.
you.
I started panicking and started having anxiety. But when I got to church yesterday and the fellowship in the church, I had a feeling of peace come over me.
Now, it was less than 10 people.
There was less than 10 people. There were only, I counted 3 times. There were 7 of us.
Yeah.
So I had
And
to
it was
double count.
clean.
It was clean. It was very clean, and we had you know, the hand sanitizer, and you know, what's really cool is when we run out of this, we don't have to buy any. I can make some because I've got all the stuff
I've
to
got
make
some.
it.
Thank you for that. And it smells amazing, better than any that I have had before.
Yeah, it's but I can make the gel kind like this because I have pure aloe gel. I think they say 1 cup of aloe gel to 2 cups of alcohol, or vice versa, something like that. But
And
it has
aloe
to be,
has healing property.
and it has to be over 70%.
So then you weren't nervous anymore? What happened?
Well, we were sitting there, and I can't explain it. It passed all my understanding. I was freaking out, and then all of a sudden I'm like,
Yep.
and I immediately thought to the Lord, "Thank you, Lord. I needed that peace."
I celebrate my salvation. Jesus saved me. He
'Cause I'm a
promised me
hypochondriac
eternal
anyways.
life. He said he raised from the grave. Our Lord is a
Morning.
person who has raised from the dead and is alive.
Yeah.
And he promised he would raise us from the dead. We will rise from the ashes
Morning,
and
Linda
from the
Fleetwood.
dust, and we will celebrate and worship a God, a Father, who is worthy.
The God, the Father,
We will praise
Almighty.
him. We will worship him.
will be in the presence of pure, unfiltered love and
You want
joy.
comfort? Raised from the dead, ladies and gentlemen, is what you will be. Raised from the dust. That is not a joke. That is not a superstition.
Steve Schultz is asking you specifically, Jay, how did things go yesterday?
I think they went well.
I
It
thought
was
they went
awkward
great.
for me.
Well, it was your first sermon, and you did it sitting down.
Yeah.
You weren't at a pulpit. It was a
I
very
enjoyed
relaxed
that.
environment, and some people chimed in with some stuff, which was good. It didn't get out of
It was
hand.
a great discussion.
You got to watch out, though, whenever you allow people to. I've learned this the hard way. When you allow people to talk during a sermon, it can get out of hand.
And I did manage it well. I think
I thought you did as well.
I interrupted carefully at the right time to make sure I went on, and
Because you had a lot to cover.
I did have a lot to cover. There were 4 or 5 chapters
And that
of the
sermon
Bible
was-
from different books of the
I
Bible.
think that sermon was specifically for one person, or at least one person that it hit home with, and I'm really glad that it did. And
It's fear. So it was about fear and joy and wisdom.
yeah,
Look, we're an example. We can have all faith, and God can protect us from all diseases and all troubles and tribulations and trials. But what about those who are following our example?
oh, sorry, we need to call Jennifer.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be
Is
doing
it Jennifer
our
Pearson?
no.
Oh.
I don't know her last name. I was sent this info yesterday or the other day
I
by
hope you showered.
yeah.
Yeah.
He said, I just touched my teenager's face. That's what he said. All right, here we go. Calling Jennifer.
Hello?
Hello, Jennifer.
Yes, hi.
Hi, Jennifer. This
Hi,
is
Jennifer.
Matt. You are on the air on the morning drive with Matt and Jay.
Hello.
How are you today?
I am good. I am doing really good. How about you?
We're doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Good. Good.
What's the weather? You are doing the whether or not segment in the place of Kelly Knosby till she gets to feeling better.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yes, I am. So, yeah, so basically what we're looking at is this is basically going to be for today through Texas and Oklahoma. There is a slight risk of severe thunderstorms just over the portion of the southern plains, the lower Mississippi Valley. Basically it means there's isolated severe storms with large hail, damaging wind across portions of the southern high plains this afternoon. And there'll be a few strong to severe storms with local strong wind gusts are also possible. And into Texas, into a portion of the lower Mississippi Valley. The southern high plains, shortwave trough currently over the south U.S. Basically, yeah, it just comes down to severe weather this afternoon, and can't rule out a possibility of a tornado, of course. So that is what we are looking at for today. So, and that will be happening around this afternoon. So. And then as far as day 2 is concerned, it's basically a slight risk of severe thunderstorms for southern Alabama and southern Georgia. So once again, isolated scattered severe thunderstorms are possible Tuesday over the northeast Gulf Coast states. And once again, it brings gusts and few tornadoes are the primary threats out of this. So that's what we're looking at for Tuesday. And then Wednesday, as of right now, Wednesday is not looking anything severe-wise, but excuse me, we know that can change. So that's pretty much the story for the weather for today and tomorrow.
So what's the weather going to be like around Springfield, Missouri?
Springfield, Missouri is actually going to see some rain, and it is going to be nothing really, not going to expect to see anything too traumatic in that area. So here, give me 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, for what I see from Missouri, it's basically the southern portion of Missouri is going to see some rain. So, and once again, that won't be happening until really later today into this evening, honestly. So that's what Missouri is looking like.
What about
So-
wind? Are there any wind advisories for the United States?
I don't have, there's nothing posted yet. As the day goes on, they will probably start to post some advisories and watches, but as of right now, there isn't currently anything out there.
All right.
So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. And then, of course, I post things on Facebook and Twitter as far as warnings are concerned for all those areas. So,
All right. Well, Jennifer, thank you very much for filling in for Kelly Knosby
Absolutely.
on whether or not. And
right.
I assume we'll be calling you on Thursday as well.
Yes, that sounds great.
Great. We'll talk to you then. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Whether or not. I love that. Whether or not.
Sorry, I got to unplug that because that's causing some issues with our sound.
Yeah.
Because the noise you hear when our voices are sounding weird when it does that, that is, it's clipping.
Huh.
It's clipping on the thing, and you know how it does.
Oh, is it?
Drops. Yeah.
Why don't we turn it down?
We probably should. So, anyways. So, yeah.
We'll
Oh,
turn
no,
it
she
down.
does it better than me. That's what Kelly says. Kelly,
No.
you're...
Nobody does it better than Kelly.
No, we're
No offense,
hardcore
Jennifer.
Kelly Knosbyers over here.
Yes.
On,
we are
on
in
Morning
your
Drive.
court, young
Yep.
lady.
In the court.
We're
in
in
your
your
court.
court.
With Smart Park. I thought about that the
And
other
I'm
day.
sure Jennifer thanks you for the opportunity, too.
So, I'm really looking. The reason I asked about Missouri weather is because in the next couple of days, I'm going to be smoking that pork shoulder.
I'm looking forward to that. And I am going to film it.
Yeah. If we can get it done, I need to pull at least. I'm probably only going to do half of them. I'm only going to
Do
do.
you know when
two
you're
of
going to start it? Because I can come after work tonight.
them. It'll have to be after the show.
Would it?
Yeah, so we can go from here to the house.
To start it.
And I'm taking a couple days to relax, catch up on my rest because I worked a really hard week this last week. I was not getting to bed until like 2:00.
And with
getting
all
up
the
at 4.
tension and the nervousness around the economy and COVID-19, and it's pretty stressful, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Are you sensing that?
Oh well, I mean, I read something the other day and it was worded perfectly. Said that there is a sense of normalcy, as well as an underlying feeling of panic. And it's and that's everywhere. But everybody's going about their business. It's like day to day, right? But there's also and it's
The
it comes in
government
phases.
seems to be working for us,
Yeah, and I think
which is unusual. And they have to follow through or they will really lose our trust.
yeah. Well, so far they're doing really good. We had issues with a certain party. I'm not going to mention the party because I really don't want to do partisan politic talk right now.
I
'Cause-
wouldn't, and they may think some things are important even to this. I mean, if you think about the economy and what's happened in light of all this, I don't think energy independence is a bad idea to have that included. Because here's the thing, all the things that they're doing that they've never done before are all things to take our dependence on other countries and bring them home so that we are
Right.
we are independent and self-reliant.
This
so that
definitely is doing that.
when there are emergencies, we can compensate. Now, our country's power is on a grid, so we may get power that all the way comes from California. If the systems in our area aren't producing an adequate amount and we're using more than we produce, that energy is transported all the way across the country and all the way around the country.
Yeah.
So with failures possible there, with shortages of all kinds of unpredictable shortages in a place that you may have a generator that has a brush that goes out, and you may in your generators, and you can't, and then all of a sudden you can't generate power, but then you can't order it either because it's on back order for eternity. You know what I mean? So there are all kinds of issues that could happen with this, and I don't think energy independence is a bad idea. Also, taking some things that could easily be powered by renewable energy sources would also free up and reduce our use of energy by another source that has a better use in times like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think those things are necessarily bad, though I do think taking the time to argue those things is inappropriate and that maybe they should be on another bill that we should take seriously.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still reading on when to seek medical attention
When
for the COVID-19. 2 to 14 days after exposure based on the incubation period for MERS, COVID-19 viruses, fever, cough, and shortness of breath. And it says, when to seek medical attention. If you are developing emergency warning signs for COVID-19, get medical attention immediately. Emergency warning signs include trouble breathing, persistent pain or pressure in the chest, new confusion or inability to arouse, or bluish lips or face. Am I bluish?
Nope.
Okay.
How about me?
No, you're great. Beautiful, Jay. Beautiful.
Beautiful, man.
I need to shave. I meant to
You
shave.
didn't shave, yeah.
I was
didn't even
gonna.
think
I
of
shouldn't
that.
have touched my face.
You just touched your face. Good thing you got all that hair there, separate.
Yeah, that's a good place for
Creating self-social distancing.
the social distancing. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, I haven't really touched anything but the microphone and stuff, but still, and all this has been sprayed down. And these the mic fluffies, we have those. We have where we interchange them.
Yep.
And douse them with a disinfectant spray.
Yeah, we fogged them.
We do. But you almost want to. You almost want to fog them and stand inside of the fog just to get it all off of your body. But then, there's a whole part of breathing that's really...
These are pretty simple steps, and they're effective.
Yeah.
Or else they wouldn't be telling us to use them.
This is a good time to put in a garden. That's what Johnny Rooster says.
I agree.
Steve Schultz says, most places now take your temp before you see a doctor. So, that's true. I mean, I need to go stop by, I about said the name of the store and get
a thermometer.
I need a thermometer. I need to get a thermometer.
I need to find mine. I have a really good one. But I don't know where it is because I just moved.
Yeah, and I think the most accurate like the oral thermometers?
I think so.
Because, I mean, you can do the ones under the armpit.
Oh, well, the most accurate is rectal.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward for some people.
It is awkward for everybody, I think.
Yeah.
If it's not awkward for you, well,
I used to feel so...
that's awkward.
I used to feel so terrible. Right, if it's not awkward for you,
everybody
that's
else.
awkward for us.
Just saying.
So, yeah, I used to feel so bad for, my boys. Whenever, because they always...
Can
Infants...
people support Acts Ministry?
Yes.
We've missed a couple commercials. That's why I interrupted.
Well, there's been a couple of times that I did just... I mean, we
it
were
just
in
didn't feel
serious...
right to interrupt.
Right. But now's a good time for us to go ahead and talk about that. If you're enjoying this program or any other programs that we may have on the Acts Television Network, meaning, like the Johnny Rooster, the Morning Mouth with Johnny Rooster and Pastor Matt. This is a show we play before our shows on Mondays. And then, we're going to have to play a rerun of Brighter Living Live today because due to some technical issues with his vehicle, he will not be able to make it today. And then on Tuesdays, we're going to be doing a call-in show until the folks from Something to Celebrate are no longer self-quarantining. We'll play some reruns every once in a while on that, but we're going to give you guys an opportunity to call in and talk to us, ask for prayer, or if you just want to visit with us, that's one way that we can do it. Well, of course, we'll have to give you we have to give you a certain amount of time that will be limited to per caller, depending on how many people are calling in. But then we'll drop that number.
Did we do that yet?
Not yet. No, we're going to do that tomorrow. Steve McAllister says, "Hey guys,
Hey, Steve.
we are becoming the TV character
Monk.
The TV character monk.
That's a good show. I enjoyed that show.
Oh, the TV character monk. Oh, gotcha.
Is it still running, or is it all just in
I
rerun?
don't know. But I mean, everybody is starting to become more like that.
And we should,
You
in
know?
light of what is happening right now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is all of these reports that we get that are positive are coming from countries that, China did an enforced lockdown.
Yeah.
You couldn't leave your house. You'd be hauled
Did
off.
you see what Russia did? Did you see what Putin did?
No.
Apparently, he forced everybody to stay home too, in the city where he was at, and then he set free a bunch of lions in the street.
Did he really?
Yeah. You know what? Let me fact check that. But I saw pictures of lions running through the streets in Russia, and I
wouldn't doubt it. He's a gangster.
Yeah, gangster. That's one way to put it. But I mean, what way to keep people indoors? Go outside, you could get attacked by lions.
So that works.
That would suck.
That wouldn't work for us. That would start a revolution, and everyone would be out there sick, spreading a virus with guns.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of dead lions.
There'd be a lot of dead lions. Yep.
Yeah.
They would all be dead, and it would be fast.
Yeah.
Like, in our country.
It's like, how many lions did we drop yesterday? 20. How many are left? 0.
How many did they release? 19. Huh.
Yeah.
Bless one. There was one running around here we didn't even know was around.
Lions and bears. Oh, I think Steve is trying to say lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. A line from the infamous Wizard of Oz.
Well done, Steve.
Yeah. Joe Katie, welcome to the show.
Morning, Joe.
How is the things going out there with you, Joe Katie?
Yeah.
I think Joe lives out on some land.
Joe.
We miss you. Yeah.
Yep, there's definitely been a void.
Yeah. It's amazing to me how certain people just
can make such a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be that person.
I need to try and find a rerun of Brighter Living Live.
Yeah. Are we running out of time?
We are just about out of time. Yeah. So
it cannot be.
It cannot.
So remember, the Lord will raise us from the dust, and we will worship Him and praise Him and glorify Him because He is worthy.
Yeah. I'm trying to find something. We may be a couple minutes late getting to Brighter Living.
If you're suffering through all of this, remember to trust God. Conduct yourself with dignity and bring glory to God.
Absolutely.
Through your suffering, that can be the biggest witness that anyone will ever see in their lifetime is when somebody who's sick has dignity and trusts and worships God through that most difficult passage of time. And keep that in mind.
That's true. Thank you for that, Joe. Sorry, we were talking about Joe.
Mm-hmm. Be brave. Do not be afraid.
Yeah. Be brave and do not be afraid. It's like I said, it's a trying time. I do have to say I am pretty excited about how people are treating other people better now than they were before.
Yeah.
Because they know that, this is a tough time for everybody. So, Joe says, "Morning, y'all are too kind. Y'all are too kind. On nights, he's on nights, splitting warehouse, so on nights at a warehouse. Love y'all and miss y'all too." Mm-hmm. Steve Schultz says, "Be safe, guys." Steve McAllister said, "Rerun on my testimony." We didn't actually record that one. That one is on YouTube, and you can find it on our Facebook. So I'm going to play a phone interview that he had with somebody, and it's only a 30-minute long video. So things are going to be...
We want to say hi to Robin Katie.
Yes, absolutely.
She's an occasional watcher, too, with Joe. We appreciate you guys. We miss you terrible.
When are you going to show us pictures of your new bike? Steve Schultz says.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need to do that.
Yep.
I just got the bags on it. They started to fly like wings. They would come up. So I had to build a bracket that would hold them down.
Yeah.
And I got that done this weekend on Saturday. Got the bags mounted in the
Engineered it yourself?
Engineered it myself.
Yeah.
And it looks stock. It looks really good.
Yeah.
And so I'm really happy for that.
Aluminum
I've got
rodding.
a few other things to do to make it. Did you say Illuminati?
Aluminum rodding.
Oh, rodding. Okay. You said, I thought I was like Illuminati.
R-O-D-D-I-N-G. Illuminati. Yeah, that would be a really awkward. Anyways, I forgot to finish this. If you guys are interested in these shows and what we have to do, we want to partner up with you guys. Go to axmediagroup.com. Look at everything that we got there. You can see all the different programs we have, like autism awareness programs. We have veterans programs. Programs like this, Axe Television Network. You can read the Real News Review, which consists of a bunch of different contributors that contribute articles to it, like Dr. James R. Whining. The last one that he posted was Fear Over Faith or Faith Over Fear. It's either or. Faith Over Fear. It's a very informative and very good thought-provoking article. And while you're scrolling down, you can see some of our past shows, and you look over to your right, and there's a donate button. And there you could do a one-time donation, or you could become a monthly partner and do a monthly donation, and it'll come out on the same day every month. So we take credit cards, PayPal, debit cards, what have you. So go online and check it out. And if you like what you see, please join us in this venture and help us to grow and expand this programming. So, anyways, it's about time for us to get out of here. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the morning drive today. We'll be back on tomorrow, should the Lord be willing. Same time, same channel. Be sure and tune in next. We got a 30-minute phone interview with Steve Mickey Mac McAllister. I can't remember exactly who he's calling. I'm not doing very good at my job today. And I apologize for that.
Hey, yeah. I'm here. I'm on.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So
Good
until
job,
then,
Ben.
my friends, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
And this has been
The Morning Drive.